In 4 minutes, the plane was falling fast. The pilot said, "Prepare for crash landing." Everyone froze in fear. But the quiet farmer in seat 14C stood up calmly. "Give me the controls," she said. She had flown broken planes before. Minutes later, she landed safely. 200 people lived because a farmer remembered how to fly. Before you watch the full story, comment below which country you are watching from. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. The captain's voice came over the speaker at 34,000 feet. It was calm, but everyone could hear the fear under it. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a serious engine problem. Please listen carefully to the crew and prepare for crash landing." For 3 seconds, nobody moved. Then the cabin filled with sound. A baby started crying. A man dropped his phone. An old woman began to pray softly in her seat. In seat 12A, a man named David typed a fast message to his wife, his hands shaking. 2 rows behind him, a young girl held her mother's arm tightly and asked, "Are we going to be okay, Mama?" Her mother did not answer. She just held her closer. In seat 14C, a woman named Maria Lopez sat very still. She wore a simple green jacket and old brown boots, the kind a farmer wears every day in the fields. Her hands were rough from years of farm work. Nobody on the plane looked at her twice. To them, she was just another tired farmer going home. But Maria was not just a farmer. 10 years ago, she was one of the best pilots in the Air Force. She flew fast planes that could break in the sky if you made one wrong move. She had landed broken aircraft before. She had trained for days that felt just like this one. But after too many close calls, she left that life. She wanted peace. She wanted quiet mornings and green fields, not sirens and emergency landings. So she moved to a small town and became a farmer. She grew wheat and kept chickens. She thought she was done with flying forever. Now, sitting in 14C, old feelings came back to her fast. Her heart started beating the way it used to, before every dangerous flight. The plane shook hard. A flight attendant ran down the aisle, telling people to put their heads down and hold their knees. Maria looked out the window. She saw thick black smoke coming from one engine. She saw the wing shaking in a strange, dangerous way. She had seen this kind of damage before, and she knew something the other passengers did not know. The pilots did not have much time left. The captain's voice came on again, shaking now. "We have lost control of engine 2. We are dropping fast. Brace for impact." 3 minutes! Maria's mind moved quickly, the way it used to during her training. She thought about speed, height, and how fast the plane was falling. If nothing changed, the plane was going to crash into the hills ahead. Most people would not survive. She unbuckled her seatbelt. A flight attendant near her said, "Ma'am, please sit down."
"I am a pilot," Maria said, standing up. "A trained emergency pilot. I need to speak to the captain right now."
The flight attendant looked shocked, but there was no time to argue. Maria walked fast toward the front of the plane, holding onto seats as the plane shook under her feet. She reached the cockpit door and knocked hard. "Captain, I am a trained pilot. Let me in. I can help." For 5 seconds, there was no answer. The plane dropped again. Then the door opened. The captain, a woman named Captain Reyes, looked tired and scared. "This is not the time for 61. "I flew special aircraft for 10 years, Maria said fast. "I have handled damage like this before. Give me the controls." Captain Reyes did not move. Her eyes were full of doubt. "I don't even know you. How can I just hand over 61?
"You don't have a choice," Maria said, her voice steady but urgent. "In 60 seconds, none of us will have a choice. We do not have much time."
Something in Maria's voice made the captain step back and let her in. Inside, the co-pilot was fighting hard with the controls, sweat on his face. Warning lights were flashing all over the screen. "We lost hydraulics," Captain Reyes said. "The wing is damaged. We cannot reach any airport. We are going to crash into those hills in about 90 seconds. Maria looked at the instruments quickly. She understood the problem at once. "You are fighting the plane's pull to the left," Maria said. Stop fighting it.
If we stop, we will spin out of control, the co-pilot shouted.
No, Maria said, her voice calm and steady. We use the pull instead of fighting it. We turn it into a slow spiral. It will help us lose height slower and travel farther. I have done this before, in training. It is dangerous, but it can work.
Captain Reyes looked at her for one long second. Then she said, "Take the controls."
Maria sat down. Her hands remembered everything, even after all these years. She felt the plane shaking under her fingers, telling her what it needed. "Give me full power on the right engine. Reduce the left," she said to the co-pilot. "We are going to turn this fall into a slow curve." The plane tilted sharply. The horizon spun outside the window. Passengers screamed as the plane turned in a strange, slow circle. But it was not falling as fast anymore. Sweat rolled down the co-pilot's face. His hands shook on the throttle.
"This should not be working,"
he said, half in fear, half in wonder. "It is not magic," Maria said calmly, her eyes fixed on the instruments. "It is just physics. The wing wants to drop. We are letting it drop the way it wants to, instead of fighting it. That is why it is holding together." Captain Reyes watched the numbers on the screen, her hands gripping the back of Maria's seat. 10 years ago you were flying planes like this for the military?" "Something like that," Maria said. "Planes that were not even supposed to exist yet. I trained for years to stay calm in moments like this. I never thought I would need it again." The plane groaned loudly, and for a second, warning lights turned red across the whole panel. Captain Reyes's face went pale, but Maria did not blink.
It is just stress on old metal,
She said quietly. "It will hold a little longer. It has to." Outside, the valley below was getting closer, the green hills rushing past faster than before.
"We are losing height slower," the co-pilot shouted, surprised. "I know," Maria said. "Now find me flat land. Anything long and clear."
Captain Reyes looked at her map fast. There is a straight road, about 20 miles ahead. It runs through a valley.
"Give me the direction,"
Maria said. The plane turned toward the road, still spiraling down carefully, using every trick Maria remembered from her training days. The wings screamed under the pressure. Metal groaned, but it held.
"At 4,000 feet, Maria said. "We need to come out of this spiral now. It will be rough." She pulled the controls straight, and the plane shook hard, throwing everyone forward. For one terrible second, it felt like they were going to lose control completely. Then the plane leveled out, still falling, but now flying straight toward the road.
"We are not going to make it," the co-pilot said quietly, looking at the numbers. "We are too far, too low."
Maria did not answer. She pushed the plane's nose down slightly, trading height for speed, hoping it would be enough. The road came into view. So did the trees around it. At 500 feet, it looked like they would land just short of the road, right into the forest.
"Hold on!"
Maria said, and pushed both engines to full power. The engines screamed, far past what was safe. Smoke poured from one side, but the plane moved just a little farther. They cleared the trees.
Maria cut the engines and pulled the nose up hard, slowing the plane just before it hit the ground.
The landing gear was broken, so it would be a hard landing on the plane's belly. The tail hit first with a terrible sound. Then the whole plane hit the road, sliding and shaking, throwing sparks into the air. Maria held the controls steady, keeping the plane straight as it slid across the road for what felt like forever. Then, finally, it stopped. Silence.
"Everyone out! Now!"
Maria shouted. The crew moved fast, opening the doors. Passengers ran out, crying, hugging each other, shaking with fear and relief. 200 people who should have died were standing on the road, alive. Maria walked out quietly. Nobody noticed her at first. She was just another passenger in the crowd. She walked toward the trees at the side of the road, planning to disappear the way she always did. But Captain Reyes saw her. "Wait! Where are you going? You saved us all!" Maria stopped and turned back for a moment. "I did what needed to be done," she said softly. "Now I just want to go home." A truck stopped nearby, and an old farmer leaned out. "You okay, miss? You from that plane?" "Yes," Maria said. Can you take me toward Millbrook?
Get in!
She climbed into the truck and did not look back. 3 days later, Maria was back on her small farm, feeding her chickens, when her phone rang. It was Captain Reyes. "The airline wants to thank you," Captain Reyes said. "The news wants to talk to you. Everyone wants to know who you are." "I don't want any of that," Maria said gently. "I just want my quiet life back." "There is someone else who wants to talk to you," Captain Reyes said. "A man named David, sitting in seat 12A. He has 2 young daughters. He watched you the whole time. He says he wants to say thank you, nothing more." Maria was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Give him my number, just him." That evening, David called. His voice was warm and shaky. "I was writing a message to my wife when you stood up," he said. "I thought I would never see my daughters again. Because of you, I will see them tonight." Maria smiled, alone in her kitchen. "I am glad your daughters still have their father," she said. "You could have stayed in your seat," David said. "You chose not to. That is not just training. That is who you are." In the weeks after, a few reporters found her small farm, but Maria said no to every interview. She only agreed to one thing: helping safety experts understand what she had done, so that other pilots could learn the same method one day and maybe save other lives in the sky. Then she went back to her fields, back to her chickens, back to her quiet mornings.
She was a farmer. But she would always be the woman in seat 14C who stood up when everyone else was afraid to move. The woman who chose, just for a few minutes, to become a pilot again and save 200 lives.
Some heroes wear uniforms and fly every day. Others wear old boots and farm quiet fields until the sky needs them one more time.